Okay, look, this online shop says it has what? Only four categories, which is what? The accessories, clothing, lifestyle, and pets. But watch this. The moment I click accessories, I see three products, and that looks normal. Now I search accessories with what? A string, a single string, space or space one equals one, dash dash, space dash, and I hit enter. Now I see what? More than four products. That extra ones like the ZZZ bed are hidden, unreleased products they never wanted you to see. I just bypassed their entire business logic with 8 characters. No brute force, no tools, just logic. And today I'm going to show you how exactly I did it, why it works, and how to fix it so that you never get hacked. And I'll explain it using my notebook or what? The dustbin theory. So we're in Portswigger Web Security Academy, Lab 1 SQL Injection, in where SQL Injection vulnerability in where clouds allowing what? Retrieval of hidden data. So the mission here is to show hidden product where released equal to what? 0. So the developer wrote a query that looks like this. Select as from product where category equals to what? Accessories in closing and opening string, and release equals 1. What does release equal 1 means? From my notebook, release equal 1 means what? Yes, product is released to public, show it. And release equals 0 means what? No, product is what? Still hidden, do not show it. So even if we search for hidden product, his and release equal 1 blocks us. We need to throw that part away. Okay, so the big time question is, why is it vulnerable? This is because of what? The string concatenation. So you see that the developer built his query by what? Gluing it. He wrote a string that says select everything where category equals what. Then he opened a single quote box, left it blank for my input, then closed what? The box, and continued with and release equals 1. And then he glued whatever I typed directly into that blank space. He didn't use a safe placeholder box. He used what? A glue. I used to think that single quote in my payload was an opener, like I was opening a door to start my hack. I was wrong. It is a closer. It closes what? The developer's intention. He opened a box expecting my text to stay inside it. I come in and my very first character is a single quote that closes his box. And once his box is closed, whatever I write next is no longer treated as text. It is treated as what? A code. That is the core of SQL injection, because input stops being text and starts being what? Codes. So now my final payload is what? Accessories, single quote or 1 equals 1, double dash, or just single quote or 1 equals 1, double dash. Now let's dissect this into what? 3 parts. We have part 1, which is what? The closer. That's the single quote. And I put it right after what? The accessories. Not before, but right after the accessories. So I say accessories, then single quote. And this ends his string. I mean the developer string. This is the key. I am closing what? The developer's box. So part 2 of the logic is what? After I close the string, I say or 1 equals 1. 1 equals 1 is always what? True. So the query now becomes where categories equals accessories or true, and release equals 1. So if one side is true, it shows everything. It's like saying show me accessories or show me everything if the sky is blue. And you know what? The sky is always blue. So it shows everything. Now, the third part is what? The dustbin. That's a double dash. And the space after it is important. Take note. So this is what most tutorials skip. If I only send accessories single quote or 1 equals 1, I get what? Internal server error. Why? This is because look at the full query after my injection. It says where category equals accessory single quote or 1 equals 1. After single quote and release equals 1. So you see that last single quote hanging after the 1 equals 1. It has no pair. So you realize that the grammar is what? Broken. And this is equivalent to what? Syntax error. So that's why the server crashes. So I need to tell the database throw that rest away into the dustbin, and that's what the double dash does. Double dash is an SQL comment. It comments out everything after it. So it comments out the end release equals 1 part. So the final query becomes what? Where categories equals accessories single quote or 1 equals 1 double dash, and everything after double dash is what? Gone. No error, no hacks, and the hidden product appears too. Okay, now so let's prove it. Let's prove it all in proxy, sorry, with what? No repeater. So I click accessories and I catch the request in proxy. So look, you see that categories equals what? Accessories. and that's normal. Now we forward it and only the accessory shows. This is what the developer intended. Now watch what happens if I forget the dustbin. Now I catch it again right after accessories. I close what his box with a single quote, then or 1 equals 1, no dustbin yet. Then we forward it and boom, you see the 500 internal error. Why? Because I closed, I added a true logic. Why error? Because look at what's left behind. After my 1 equals 1, there's still a hanging single quote left from the developer's original query. It has no grammar pair, it has no pair, and then the grammar is broken. Or what? Syntax error. So I didn't tell the database to throw the rest away. Now watch. I add double dash and space dash. You see that space after the double dash is important. That's the dustbin. Double dash says throw everything after me into the dustbin. So I'm telling the database throw away that hanging quote and the end release equals 1 part. So in the address bar, that space becomes what? %20. And that's normal. Leave it. The same payload, but now single quote or 1 equals 1 with double dash space dash. Now let's forward it. Hit enter and then boom, game over. So look, you realize that what? All products, including what? The unreleased and hidden ones appears here. And you could see that the lab is solved. But then there's one lesson to grasp here. Without what? The dustbin, there was an error. And with the dustbin, all data was shown. And you can do that right away from the URL bar or the address bar. Okay, now, so the $1 million question is, how do you fix this and not get fired? So you use a placeholder. And quick question, what is a placeholder? So fast forward, from the name alone, it holds a place where user inputs can't be executed. So with a bad code glue, user inputs directly ... single quote, double quote, plus input plus double quote, single quote. And that's why injection happens. And also with a good code, it uses a box with what? ... where categories equals what? Question mark. And sends the input separately as one square bracket, input close square bracket. So the code and the data never touch. And that question mark is not just any random letter. It's an agreed symbol. MySQL uses question mark. Postgres uses $1. Oracle uses column name. So you cannot invent your own. So what happens now? If I try to inject accessories single quote or 1 equals 1 dash dash space dash into that same placeholder, it will not crash. It will not get hacked. It will just search for a category whose literal name is what? Accessory single quote or 1 equals 1 dash dash space dash. It finds nothing and returns what? Empty, because the code and the data are now traveling in different what? Tracks. So here's your full mitigation stack in 4 layers. So layer 1, you have to use a prepared statement always. Parameterized queries as well. This is 99% of the fix. So you never have to glue strings. Always use what? A placeholder and send data separately. Then layer 2, input validation. You have to only allow known categories. For instance, if you only sell electronics, fashion and accessories, then only accept those 3 and block everything else. Then layer 3, practice what? The least privilege method. Your shop database users can only read. Even if an attacker breaks in, he cannot delete your tables or drop your database because that user has no permission to write. Then layer 4, or the final layer, don't show detailed SQL errors to the users. If you show the full error, you are showing the attacker your database structure. Just show a generic message like something went wrong. And remember, a placeholder without parameterization is still vulnerable. Take note. So you must actually send the data separately, otherwise it's useless. So to recap this, single quote closes his intent, or 1 equals 1 is my intent, dash dash space dash throws what? His leftover intent into the dustbin. And that's where the dustbin theory evolved. So I wrote this in my own terms, in my notebook, and that's how I will never forget. So this is Cyber Zulka. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications as well. If this dustbin theory helped you, like and subscribe. Drop a comment. What did you think single quote was before this video? Opener or closer? See you next time. Thank you very much.